Hi, welcome back after learning a lot about the when, where, and how of sexual assault. Just so you know, a lot of the initial information that I garnered when I started teaching women's self defense was through the Los Angeles Commission on Assaults Against Women. Very, very informative nonprofit that, again, I garnered a lot of this information from. This commission talks about what they call the 6 T's of sexual assault. And let's talk about those right now. Number one, the first T, if you will, of sexual assault is in targeting. And you've certainly learned a lot about that from our last episode, finding out about the when, where, and how of sexual assault. And again, does that mean you have to be at home hiding or with a shotgun at your front door? No, of course not. I want you to be out there and be strong and be fearless and be a woman and enjoy your life. But you just have more information now about, again, the when, where, and how of sexual assault so you can make whatever decisions you want to about your own personal life. The second aspect that the Los Angeles Commission on Assaults Against Women talks about is testing, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. The third is threatening. The fourth is transportation. The fifth, excuse me, is the transaction itself, the assault itself. 6 is the termination. And I always add a seventh, which is trauma. I've worked for many years as a counselor, and I encourage you, or if someone you know has been sexually assaulted, again, to seek some help, to talk about it. It can be very, very helpful for you. Okay, so let's talk about testing. What happens in an assaultive situation is that the perpetrator tests you to see how easy it's going to be to cross your boundaries, to go further with an assault. Because when you think about it, a perpetrator does not just walk into your door and then just throw you to the ground. Even in a stranger assault, that usually doesn't happen. There are signs, there are tests that happen before a perpetrator is going to take it to the next step and try to assault you. When that testing happens, that's when you need to nip it in the bud. Send a very, very clear message that this is not going to be easy and it's going to be a fight. Now, we talked about assertion in the very first episode, or the second episode that we had, that ability to say, no, stop it, get out. It sends a very clear message to that perpetrator, again, that this is not going to be easy. It's going to be a fight. And remember, perpetrators are cowards. They're not looking for a fight. They're looking for control and domination. So I encourage you to look for the signs when someone is testing you, crossing your boundary, and respond very assertively, immediately, to nip it in the bud. We're going to go over myths of women's sexual assault later on in the episode. But for now, know that a myth out there is that first cooperate. Oh, it seemed like you're going to cooperate with the perpetrator and then later look for an escape. No, that is a myth. What you want to do is the second you feel that someone is crossing your boundary, that's when you respond with assertion. No! Get out! Perpetrator is not looking again for that kind of reaction from you. They're looking for you to be scared. They enjoy that. And again, if you have been assaulted and you did not respond with assertion or you acted scared, it is not your fault. Once again, the only should in women's self-defense is that men should not be raping women. I'm going to go and get a book, and I'm going to give you a few examples of testing and how it is that you can go and just nip it in the bud. And this is from the Los Angeles Commission on Assaults Against Women. So I'll be back in a minute. Bye.